Hello and welcome to the Ink Mages podcast. We're so glad you've joined us today. We have a fun, exciting episode that we have planned. We had so much fun with our last Ink Mages debate that we decided we're going to do another one. But we are going to do a Halloween and villains edition. So this is going to be real fun. We're going to be talking all things spooky and some of our classic favorite villains. So let's dive in.
Yeah, and who doesn't love talking about a good villain? And again, this is what makes our stories matter sometimes, is having these crooked characters that get
Scary.
to come into our stories and challenge our heroes. So this is going to be so much fun.
Yes, and we are going to be tackling some of their motivations too. And I recently
Yeah.
just had a post about like my own villain, and it's not enough for a villain to just want to beat the hero. Like we need to know
Yeah.
why. So
Yeah.
let's dissect some of these
Yes.
villains and monsters' motivations in our debate. All right, prompt 1: evil but justified. Which iconic villain actually had the most justifiable motives? And were they even the real villain?
Yeah. Wow. This is loaded, isn't it?
I know. I feel like a few come to mind. Let's see. Iconic. I think, I don't know, comic book wise, I always liked Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
He was always an interesting character, and sometimes he would team up with the X-Men, but oftentimes his view for the mutants was different than Charles Xavier, which oftentimes pit them against each other, and he hated humans.
He
so
did.
there are times you want to like him. There are times that his powers are super cool. You can align with what he wants to do and help the plight of mutants, but like, that doesn't mean we just destroy humans.
Right. He had justifiable motivations, right? He didn't just decide to hate humans, right? You get the whole back history of him being a child, being ripped away from his parents, and then his, not
Powers
magic, I guess
manifest.
his power,
Yeah.
his mutation starts to manifest, and it was a whole gamut for him. And then there's, you think of characters like Thanos, who really believes he's actually doing a good thing. He's like,
For the universe.
I'm being the one willing to sacrifice everything in order to put things right. In fact, he sacrifices his adopted daughter,
Yeah.
and because he so believes in it, and he really, honestly, he comes across so formidable, and you don't want to tangle with him, but also kind of um like in his eyes good, like he
Yeah.
he thinks he's really doing something good for, I mean, the way he treats his daughters, he is evil, right?
Yeah.
He
Oh
treats,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he treats people terribly, so you
He's
don't want
kind
to
of
be
a
like,
tyrant. Yeah.
he's a tyrant, but in his mind he's doing something that just must absolutely happen.
There's that saying that every villain is the hero of their own story.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And when you see it that way, especially if you are crafting a villain, I think if you can try to what makes them heroic in their own mind? What are the
Mhm.
qualities that we might see as this guy's evil, but like in a way, it's just a twisted form of a virtue.
Yes.
So in a way, Xanos is like a
Yeah.
zealot to his
Yeah.
cause.
Yes. Yes. Well, and you see, like, it humanizes a villain, which doesn't justify them or make them good, but in humanizing them, it kind of gives a deeper layer to a story, versus just someone who's bad, evil, and horrible. There's a backstory or a reason why they're making these kind of choices. But just like Hitler, it doesn't justify any of their decisions. They're evil, bad, baddies, but layered. And
Yeah.
so it makes you lean in. Like, why is it they are so hell bent to
Right.
do the things that they do? And I know with Magneto, you're kind of hoping and cheering for him to turn around, to
Yeah.
make a different choice, to be influenced a different way. He almost crosses the threshold to anti-hero, whereas Thanos never does. He's just bad.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he's justified as to why he's doing it. And then you even think of, I don't know, Severus Snape. I don't consider a villain. he more comes across as a villain, like that's his mask. That he's a villain.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because he creates, at least in the first book, he is a type of antagonizing force for
Definitely.
Harry Potter. And so I know some Potter fans might hate me for this, but I'm not a Potter fan. I'm not. I tried reading the book, but I was an adult and I couldn't get into it, and I found a lot of the movies boring. But I will tell you, the best part of the movies for me was Severus Snape.
Yeah, he's
Hands
definitely a
down.
highlight. Yeah,
Hands down. He was just awesome. I mean,
yeah,
because the actor Alan Rickman is phenomenal
yeah,
playing
yeah.
him, but for the first movie at least, he is the only one who's not, and I guess Malfoy, but he presents an antagonizing force for Harry.
Yeah,
So it's like, this is
yeah,
good. We don't want the hero to just get his way all the time, because so
yeah.
many people are like, he's a Potter, he's so magically gifted. And Snape has other
He rolls his
views.
eyes.
He
Yes,
rolls
yeah,
his eyes because he knows, like, I know whose kid you are.
yeah,
I really know what they were like.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, he is an interesting one because he's aligned himself. Wasn't he a part of the Death Eaters at
He
one
was, but
point?
he's kind of he's a spy for the good guys in the enemy camp. And I think at one point, I have to refresh my Harry Potter history, that he was a Death Eater, but he is a 100% for Dumbledore. But here's the thing. But you question the whole time throughout the whole series whether he is a good guy or a bad guy. You don't know, and which makes him very layered. But he very clearly antagonizes Harry, and so once you know about Snape, and he kind of becomes this hero at the end,
Mm,
you kind of go, but did he hate Harry or did he love Harry? It's really
yeah,
hard to
that's
tell
a
because the way
torn.
he treats him, and you know that Severus hated Harry's dad but loved Harry's
His
mother,
mom,
and
I know.
there's both in there, and so he's reacting to both of these realities, and that's never really made clear, except that in the end he makes the ultimate sacrifice for
Right.
him
So I
and
can't.
the good guys.
It's hard to say then that he's evil, whereas like
Yeah,
it's easy to say Voldemort is.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And that leads well into our next question, because it is number 2. Power corrupts, or does it? Are fallen heroes who turn to darkness victims of circumstance, or did they choose evil freely? So like when I
Yeah,
was saying Voldemort, I was like, I'm like, I feel like there was something from the
yeah,
beginning, almost like something innate that just wanted and chose darkness and wanted power. And
yeah.
then you have your fallen heroes, like classic for me is Anakin Skywalker.
Very classic. Yeah, great
It's
example.
just such a tragic story. And I use
Mhm.
it as an example so often when I find people in my real life that I know just choosing wrong decisions that make their life implode.
Yeah,
I'm like, they're on the
yeah,
Anakin Skywalker road.
yeah. Yes,
you
yes.
know, and
Yeah,
it's sad to watch. And it is. So that's a hard one. Is Anakin a victim of circumstance, or did he just not trust? It's like he just didn't, I guess in that universe, he didn't trust the Force,
yes.
that his wife would be okay, that Padme would be okay. But he was so given into fear. And this is how fear
Fear is
drove
your
him.
friend. Yes.
Fear leads to suffering, basically, I
Mhm.
think is what Yoda says.
Yes.
And that is Anakin in a nutshell. He
Yeah.
was fearful of losing what he loved most, and so he sought a way to
Yeah.
save her, and that aligned him with someone corrupt and powerful who twisted his mind. And this is like so classic life. This
Yeah.
happens. Twisted his mind and turned him evil to the point
Yeah.
that he was willing to kill and slaughter children
Yes. Yep.
to save his wife who had his children
Yes.
inside, her womb. So it's just like it's
Yes.
it's
Well, and
nuts
there's
and
another layer
sad.
with Anakin too. It wasn't just Padme. So even before Padme was the
True.
issue, he was just impatient for power.
Okay, you're right. So
He
we're going further back. We're
Yes.
really
He
dissecting here.
this is where he's having the whole contention with Obi-Wan, because he's like, whoa, slow down. You're very young. Yes, you're very powerful. And he's having an issue with authority. Anakin is.
Seeds were
He's
there.
like, I don't want to wait. I'm better than you. So there's that arrogance and that pride. Pride comes before the fall, right?
Right.
That was already in him, that opened the door to evil and temptation and him going down the wrong road. So yes, did he want to save Padme, but he'd already had this arrogance about the power he could wield and was very upset that he was having to wait
Right.
to be wise and really learn things, to be underneath someone he felt like he could do better than.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that, if you look at the Bible, the David and Absalom thing, like, well, I could do better than King David, so I'm just going to try to take over the kingdom.
Yep.
And
I'll do better with that power.
Yeah. Yes, I'll do better. You wait and see.
Arrogance.
And yes. And so then the wrong guy, the emperor, who was giving him permission to yes, you do have all power. You could be a great leader. You don't need Obi-Wan Kenobi, gets his ear. And that opened doors to him being able to be manipulated about Padme and the fear of her. And so I do think Anakin had a choice and he chose wrong.
Oh, yes.
So he definitely freely chose evil, even if he was deceived about it along the way and didn't realize the road he was going down. He was hasty.
Yes. And as a graphic novel fan, I have read some of the Star Wars graphic novels, and there was one where it was so sad. I might have even cried. But like Darth Vader was reminiscing about his past in one of these comics, and it was showing like scenes of what his life would have been had he chosen not or to help Mace Windu when the 3 Jedi Masters confronted the Emperor. Had he not intervened and helped the Emperor in that moment, and he would still have had his limbs, he would have had his wife, and he would have had his children. And I was like, this
last moment of choice. Yes.
Yeah. Just done the right thing.
Yeah. Which makes, Darth Vader is probably one of the, not the only most, but very iconic. He is an iconic villain. And again, we talk about the human side. There was always that human side, especially once you knew that Anakin was once this hero, that leads to us kind of cheering for him to change his ways. Great villain. Great villain.
And there's redemption in the end for him. And there isn't always the case with other fallen heroes. With a Two-Face, like it's one of the saddest things in the Dark Knight. Watching somebody who was fighting the good fight, who wanted to stop criminals. But when a personal tragedy, I find that this happens even with a lot of Spider-Man's villains, personal tragedy, these scientists who just wanted to do the right thing, to create something that would help their fellow man. If it's Dr. Connors, I just want to help amputees grow their limbs back. You work on yourself, inject yourself with a serum, and now you're some crazy lizard man. But Two-Face too. It's sad that these villains, a personal tragedy, but they weren't villains. They started off as heroes, and then tragedy hits, and it's like they're presented with, well, the world sucks. I'm just going to let it burn now.
So, and there's the question, does power corrupt? Yes, it can.
It can.
Does it always?
Not always.
So you got these scientists that had the power to do good, right? They had great responsibility. Their authority had grown. Now they have this power that can be corrupted. And so I even think in real life, is the temptation there with power then to get warped and twisted? I think it is. I think it amplifies with power. Do I think that power is guaranteed to be corrupted? No, but it's like with Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Yes, so that means when crisis or something horrible happens, some kind of trauma comes in, you don't get to make the choices that lead you towards corruption. You actually have to have more humility, which is a hard, again, this makes good story fodder. This
Yes.
kind of stuff is so great. Does power corrupt? Yes, it can. And these are great examples of that. And then there is that grief that you experience as a reader. I love that you have that grief with Anakin, because you're like, oh, it's loss
Yeah.
into darkness.
Yeah. And you just want them restored. And I do
Yes.
love when if it's a series, they can get restored, but then I find that so often they just become the villain and
Yeah.
meet their demise.
That's it. Yep. That's the choice they made, was ultimately death in the end.
Ugh. All right. Let's move on to question number 3. The better boogeyman.
Ooh, boogeyman.
Who is the most terrifying villain in sci-fi or fantasy? And do they beat out classic horror monsters like Dracula or Pennywise?
Ooh. Wow.
So I love Lord of the Rings. So Sauron is obviously like a just a terrifying villain.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at just the movies, it's not. I don't feel like he's really antagonizing much. So I wouldn't. He's just kind of an eyeball
Yeah.
on a tower. But so I wouldn't say like he's the most terrifying one for me.
He's more of a force.
He's more of a force.
Yeah.
Yes, the ring race to me are far
Yes.
more terrifying because they're actually the ones like chasing down our heroes.
Yes.
And that scream is just like, as a kid at 14, seeing
Yeah.
it for the first time, like, oh my God, this is so scary. And you
Yes.
can't see their face. So I don't know. Ring racer up there.
Yeah.
The angels from Doctor Who.
Oh,
I am
those are
telling you.
terrifying.
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 Probably more so to me. Because like when I first saw the episode for the first time, I was working at a home decor store where we
Yeah.
had a statue of an angel that looked
Oh
that
my
was in
gosh.
like just feet away from my desk where I worked. I'm like, and it looked just like one of the weeping angels from Doctor Who. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
you better not wake up and try to kill me.
Oh, oh my gosh. Well, there's something about that. And so when you talk about a boogeyman, I don't know, immediately what I think is creep factor. Like the boogeyman is the
Oh,
hidden shadow, right? That thing behind the closet or underneath the bed. It's the boogeyman, the unidentified scary monster. And I definitely think that the weeping angels hit that, because it's kind of that thing that's behind you, that you have to see in order to stop. And what an element of, I remember like the first time I saw the Weeping Angels, they kind of, it was kind of like a slow build episode after episode, and then you'd forget about them for a while, and then they were back again.
Yeah, you're like,
And
guys.
the concept of them was just creepy and very haunted feeling. And
Yeah.
that's where I think, when I think about the boogeyman or something like that, it's kind of in reference to kind of this haunted feeling. And yeah, nails it. Those episodes actually creeped me out. I'm like, oh, when those episodes come on with Doctor Who, I'm like, oh, I'm always trying to decide if I want to watch them or not, because they're creepy.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I'll never look at a statue of an angel the same again.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's creep factor. You
Yes.
have messed with my mind.
Yes.
Because of
yeah.
that. Because of that.
Yeah.
So do they beat out classic horror monsters? I'm probably more creeped out of at a ring wraith and a weeping angel than I am Dracula. Not to
Yeah.
say that the original Dracula performance is like, oh, this is definitely, it's iconic.
Yes.
And I feel like we needed those classic
Yeah.
horror monster men in
Yeah.
order to even have the genre that we have.
Well, you think of like, wolfmen or werewolves and Dracula. I don't know. There's just a classic feel. It's more like, it's classic. It's more like a nod to our legends versus a boogeyman, like Pennywise. Would I say that a weeping angel beats out Pennywise? No. I couldn't believe it, growing up with my parents, when they had the made for TV version of it, that they
did. They had a made for TV.
Oh my gosh. They had a made for TV series. And that's really what put that whole story on the map, at least in the 90s. And holy moly, to have that fodder in my brain as far as a boogeyman. I mean, to me, that is the definition of a boogeyman, especially because you're dealing with children in the stories. And I don't know what it is about a boogeyman, but it's kind of like it's what kids, are imagining. Again, it's
Right.
hidden somewhere, and Pennywise hits the button, nail on the head as far as what a boogeyman is. Whereas a Dracula, I don't think anything could beat out Dracula because it is so iconic, But creep factor boogeyman feels definitely. We're looking at the Weeping Angels and Pennywise definitely hit that more for me.
I wouldn't even touch Pennywise. Like, I haven't.
No,
I have
no,
just heard
don't.
how terrifying it is. Like, so I'm like, I've not read the book. I've
Yeah.
not seen the movie. I guess I'm weak.
Yeah.
I'm weak in that area.
No,
Like,
it's a door you don't need to open. Let me just tell you that.
I'm like, I like to say I'm not afraid of clowns, but I really think
Yeah.
in some way I am. Not maybe.
Yeah.
Dolls?
Well,
I have a thing with dolls.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm creeped out by dolls
Yeah.
that talk.
Again, it's that haunted feel. I mean,
It
for me,
is.
growing
It's
up,
a disturbing factor. Things
Yeah.
that shouldn't be.
yes, clowns didn't ever really scare me, even growing up. But there is something really horrifying. Again, you almost cross from villain to like horror element, where you're like something that's meant for children for joy, but it's hidden behind that mask.
Right.
It is absolutely terrifying. So the same thing with dolls, it's something meant for children.
Yep.
Clowns are meant for
And
children.
if you make it evil,
make it evil. Now you've got something that's just really insidious. And so, yeah, not my favorite genre of things. I can't watch those kinds of things either. I went through that phase when I was younger, because I grew up not being allowed to watch anything, scary or, rated R. And then, I was in my teens and I'm like, no, I'm going to watch all of it. Now I still, as an adult, regret some of the stuff.
That's like me in my 30s.
Like, oh my God.
I rebelled in my 30s, like everything I've never seen, I'm going to watch.
Yeah. You're
like all the horror.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that last October. I watched a bunch of horror movies I had never seen. And I realized I don't like how horror movies or stories end, but I do like sci-fi horror. So being on Boogeyman, I just bought a Blu-ray of The Thing because I'm like, that old movie, the original Thing, was phenomenal. And you don't know really what it is. It is like a Boogeyman. You have no idea. Something is taking over people, but you can't see it.
Sci-fi horror has a different feel to it that isn't as dark. I mean, and that's where I even put like the Stranger Things category.
That's why I can do Stranger Things.
Yes,
to me, it's sci-fi. It's sci-fi horror.
Yes, exactly.
It's an alien. We're good. All right, let's move on to question 4. Witches be crazy? Are witches in fantasy unfairly vilified, or are they the ultimate power fantasy?
Well, I my personal opinion, especially when it comes to witches, wicked witches, and all of that, is they absolutely should be vilified and not heroified, and that they should never be the good guy in the story. Typical witches, especially when you look at the folklore of what a witch is usually not a positive, it's a negative. Oh, and like in traditional folklore, like Baba Yaga, in German folklore. Is that German or Russian? It's Russian, right?
I want to say it's Russian, but I also feel like she pops up in other cultures too.
Yes, kind of that Eastern European mindset. Like, this was not a hero or someone that you wanted to encounter in the woods. Again, you've got that whole Hansel and Gretel idea of this witch that lures children to her candy house. Baba Yaga has the same kind of feel where you don't want to encounter her in the woods. It's no good. She's a trickster. I do think there are some stories of Baba Yaga that are really dark, evil, and yucky. And then you've got some stories that are more like Loki-ish, where it's like she's offering you something that seems like it might help you, but there's a trick. There's a twist, something that's going to bite you if you allow her to be in your space. But then I don't have trouble as much with wizards being heroes, because I feel like they're a different thing. Wizards are different. I feel like their power comes from something else.
Well, if we take
the story, I guess.
If we take Tolkien's definition
Of a
of
wizard,
wizards,
yes.
and like where the root what the root word is of a wizard is a wise man.
Mm,
So like
mm,
Gandalf and the wizards in Lord of the Rings are supposed to be like sages. They were,
yes.
sent to Middle Earth to kind of help
Yeah.
with things. But yeah, when a witch always has this like 100% usually it seems an evil
Yeah.
connotation with it, and I can think of a lot of stories where even if we're going with The Witcher, like Yennefer and all the sorceresses that are in
Yeah.
the Witcher series, it's not that they're always out for themselves. It's just you can't. There's a tricksy factor
Yeah.
that you never
Yeah.
be certain that they may not be telling you the full truth, and they
Yeah.
may be on your side until it benefits their company.
Yes. Yeah.
Or they might sell their services to an emperor because it's a way to keep themselves alive until they're no longer
Yes.
needed. Then it's like, that's right, we burn witches.
It's more of a manipulation thing.
Yeah.
Like even when you look at, I mean, this is kind of maybe a strange definition of a witch, but you look at the sci-fi Dune, and you've got the oh gosh, now I'm not going to be able to think of the name of them, but you've got the
Oh, the
weirding,
Bene
you know,
Gesserit.
Bene Gesserit. Yes, thank you. But these women who basically kind of align themselves with power and authority on purpose to manipulate,
Politics.
to
Yeah.
yes, politically, and there's always this manipulative edge to witches in most stories. And I mean, sometimes you do have them be the heroes. I think especially when you're talking witches and wizards, and you look at the traditional, not some of the offshoots, but the traditional story of Wizard of Oz. You've got the Wicked Witch, you've got Glinda, who's the Good Witch, and then you've got the Wizard of Oz. And so you've got
Oh,
these kind
yeah.
of weird mixtures in there that are kind of like taking you outside of genre specific ideas of these characters. But I tend to not be a fan of witches being heroes.
They make for good villains. Like,
They make for great villains. I have villains in my
I
stories.
know.
Morgan being one of them, or Morgana would be the more traditional name for her. Just making all kinds of havoc with my characters,
I
and
like them as
so
adversaries. Yeah, they're
yes,
good
yeah,
adversaries, and I know I'm currently editing one of Angela's books that has a witch in it, and oh my god, all of her dialogue, I'm just like, you can't trust her.
yeah, yeah,
She seems like she's there to help. Oh, she wants to help, doesn't she? But you can't.
yes,
There's always
yeah,
going to be a price for magic. There's always going to be a price for a witch's help.
yes,
I'd
yes,
like to know a story where there isn't. So that's the
yeah,
thing. If
yeah,
you disagree with us on this, like if there's a story where like a witch actually surprises us and
yeah, yeah,
does some good, I'd like
yeah,
to
yeah,
know. I'd like to know which story that is.
yes,
Um,
yeah. Outside of the Harry Potter universe.
yes, outside of Harry Potter, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because that's true. Harry Potter, like yeah, the witches and wizards. Well, are
yeah.
okay. Are they all considered wizards? This might be a silly question,
Wizards
but
and
like
witches. They're
they're both
wizards,
okay.
witches, and
So
warlocks. Yes.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, outside of that world,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be curious.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
All all right, this is a fun bonus round. This is our trick or treat draft. So Angela and I were each going to draft a Halloween party dream team of 3 characters where we pick one villain, one monster, and one magical being, which would be like a witch, a warlock, or a mage. And we're going to debate who is going to throw the most unforgettable Halloween bash or the deadliest. Oh gosh. So let's see. Villain. Can I just say Darth Vader off the bat?
Sure. Yeah.
I
Let's
want I
go.
want I want
Yeah.
that baddie in my camp.
Let's go. Yeah. I have to think about this. I definitely don't want a deadly party. I want a fun party. That's my jam. So yeah, villain. I'm definitely thinking Vecna. That's my headspace right now. I've been
Ooh, okay.
watching, Stranger Things, and he's again a very complicated villain, very layered, and so there's my Halloween villain,
Okay.
and
We need a monster now. A monster.
I just went to the store the other day, Walmart, and they have Demogorgon Crunch. You can buy the cereal,
Okay.
right? And you get waffles. That's the little Eggo waffles. That's it with marshmallows, Demogorgon marshmallows. So I guess what I'm saying is the Demogorgons or the Demodogs. Maybe I would like to have, what's the one good Demodog that he's not really good, but he kind of makes friends with one of the characters.
Oh, did it have a name? Oh, it's gosh, it's
Yes,
what,
it
like that
does.
season 2?
It does. It has a name, and I'm not thinking of it right at the moment. Yeah, Dart. I got it. Its
Oh,
name was Dart for D'Artagnan because he feeds him Three Musketeers bars. See, and then I can have Three Musketeers,
there you go.
full Three Musketeers, and then have a Demodog.
I
There's my
can't think I
monster.
can't I can't think of a monster. I need like my brain is not
Yeah,
thinking of monsters. It could think of lots of villains.
yeah. And you
But
got your shapeshifters. You got werewolves. You can think some of the classics.
okay. Let's
You've
go.
got a classic. You got a classic Darth Vader.
I know. Yeah, let's just go with the werewolf because I can't think
Okay.
of.
Yeah, which is great
I love
story.
wolves. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they're great. They're great. And werewolves are fun too because they don't always have to be the villain. Those ones are really fun to play with. So good story fuel.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we just
So
need
then we
a magical being.
I'm just sticking with my Stranger Things. I'm going to say my magical being is 11. Heck yes.
Oh!
She's going to keep Vecna and my Demodog under control so we can all have a party and who knows what else. I just have to have some extra tissues on hand so that she can wipe her nose because I can't stand the
Oh
bloody
yeah, the
noses.
bloody nose. Well, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Gandalf. I know he's not like a villain, but he's a magical being, and I feel like he
Yeah.
will at least help keep Darth Vader in check.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
actually could have a wizardy type competition.
There you go.
The Force versus, him and his like magical
Yes.
flame of
Let's
Undune.
go.
Stop.
I would love to have Gandalf at my party.
I feel like he'd make a good DJ.
Yeah. I'm not sure which party would be better, honestly. I think I'd hop over to yours too. I mean, Darth Vader, werewolf, and
I think there'd be some
Gandalf.
fun levitation stuff going on. They'd just be levitating all the furniture, and the werewolf would eat everything.
There you go. There you go.
Eating all the candy.
Yes, yeah. Make it so much fun. But yeah, I don't want a scary party. I'm not into the fear factor. I do love the villains though. And so that's fun for me to pull in those villains into my party and have a good Halloween bash. I mean, I could have a whole Stranger Things theme. So,
I like that you kept it.
Yeah. Honestly, at a different day, at a different time, I would probably pick a whole different slew of characters. But because, I'm currently rewatching all of the old episodes, getting ready for the release of season 5.
Right. Oh, I know.
I am definitely, that's where my headspace is right now. So I'm really enjoying that. I mean, I could have a whole slew of my own characters. Let's think of it that way, right? From our own books, right?
Oh, can we do that real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So villain from your own books.
Well, I definitely do not want Anson. I don't want to be near that guy at all.
I know.
So,
right? Ooh, too villainous, right?
Yeah.
I know that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, Morgan is one of my horrible villains. I could have, let's see, I don't know. Both of my villains are so icky. Okay, I'm just gonna say Morgan because I'm gonna say that my mage is Merlin, and Merlin is way more powerful. So he'll keep her under control. He'll keep, her in the corner.
Oh, right. See, you've already thought ahead. I was like,
I can't think of my villain without thinking of who my mage.
I was like, I'm probably gonna need my conjurer.
There you go.
As my mage.
Yes.
But yeah, for villain, let's go outside the medieval fantasy realm, and I'm gonna have Slumyard Ghoul. Let's have my steampunk.
There you go. Yes.
Maniac, gun crazy.
Yes.
Dude,
and he
wants
is
to rip out someone's heart. So let's go with him.
Yeah. The ultimate undead yet living character. Yes, that's so great.
All right. And
Okay.
monster, I'm going to pick my moonshade.
Your moonshades are
Those
crazy.
soul devouring, non corporeal,
Yeah.
smoky terrors. You do not want to
Yes.
go into a forest at night. You do not want to
Yes.
be near a forest, and you certainly do
No.
not want to be bleeding,
Yes.
or
No.
your soul's going to get snatched up. So
They
that's my
kind of
monster.
remind me, like if you were to get your story into a sci-fi context, of the whole mind flayer thing, where it kind of
Yes.
gathers bodies and starts to like
Hmm.
develop into this huge monster. That's the
Yep.
Moonshades.
And they smell very sulfuric.
Yeah,
The rotten
you.
egg smell. I'm just like,
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
just? It's walking death.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Nowhere,
Those are
nowhere
very
near.
scary. I always
You
worry about your characters whenever they go into the forest and it starts getting dusk time. I'm like, you better go home now. I would say my favorite, I've got several monsters that I would just love to pull from, but I think my favorite, and it's why I brought the character back in my new series. So it's in Once and Future Chronicles, and it's also in The Lost Son of Arcades, is
you
the
just
Gwalgi,
you,
which is
you
a
just showed
supernatural
up.
hound. Yes. Oh,
He
yes.
just showed up again. I forgot what happened. I'm like, oh no.
Yes, it's a demonic hound that is also spectral. So it's hard to kill because it's not a physical being, and yet it can tear you to shreds. And it's just fun. It's vaporous, but it's the
Yeah,
body is like wrapped branches and sharp teeth, and it looks like a hound, and it's horrifying. But really
very.
cool. And it's out of Welsh folklore, which is one of the reasons I did my own twist on it. There's lots of different variations of the Gwalgi in Welsh folklore, but I did my own thing with it. And I think it's a very fun, scary monster. So there, that would be at my party.
Awesome. All right. And I think we have our mage. I've got the
Yes.
conjurer Zamara.
Yep. And Merlin, let's go.
Woohoo.
He's
I'm
always
like,
there to save the day.
we should, yes, now they can battle each other. Let's
Yes, there we go. We'll just have maybe we'll just have to have a combined party where we have the whole gamut all together. Well, this is so fun. I love doing these debates. We're going to keep them up, you guys, because they're just fun to discuss all of this great story fodder, stuff that helps us create really great, impactful stories and helps us talk about the stories we already love and why we love them. And I love this episode because villains are a huge piece of making our stories matter. And so, again, drop us some comments. Let us know some of your opinions on some of the questions we asked. And we'd love to hear from you. Please leave us a comment and a like. And before we go, special announcement. Stephanie Cotta has a book that has released to the world. Stephanie, tell us all about it.
All right. Well, my third book in the Iron Kingdom series, The Ghost Gambit,
Yeah.
is out and you can pick it up. Woohoo! Yep. Online where books are sold. It is exciting to be back in that world with the race, Rowan, Tahira, and Akron, as they are going to try and defy a ruthless, oppressive regime that is hell bent on getting them basically sent to the gallows. So
Yeah.
they're fighting for freedom and to prevent tyranny from taking over their home. And with the lives at stake of the people they love, are they going to be able to overcome this force?
Yeah. Such a good book. Again, I got to pre-read it. Fabulous. It builds on the first two beautifully, and the characters come alive even more, particularly Ekron. And I
Yep.
love his character in this book, and I love some of the things that begin to develop in the world that just it's been building to this. And so you're gonna have a lot of fun with this book. Please pick it up. Please support Stephanie because her books are so amazing, and it's really worth the ride that you get when you read her adventures. So pick it up, support her. We will be having an episode all about the Rites of
Yes.
Origin, so and her new release, the whole series, and her new book coming out. So join us for that. Be looking for that episode, and we'll see you next time.